Hi, I'm Ryan Smith. I'm a real estate agent and an educator here in Calgary, and this video is part of an ongoing series dedicated to buying, selling, and owning a condominium. Today's topic is reserve funds and reserve fund studies. All right, so the first question is, what is a reserve fund and why is it important? Well, every condominium corporation is required to have two bank accounts. The first bank account is going to be for day-to-day operating expenses. That might be paying employees, utilities, regular scheduled maintenance, office and admin, those types of things. The second bank account is going to be a long-term planning account. That's the reserve fund. And that reserve fund is there to prepare for the future, when the common assets of the corporation need to be repaired and replaced. Now, those two bank accounts need to be separate. Those funds should never be mixed together. Now, in order to determine how much money should be in the reserve fund, the corporation will have a reserve fund study and report prepared every 5 years. And that reserve fund study and report are going to be prepared by a qualified person. This qualified person is somebody who's going to have knowledge and experience with depreciating assets, maintenance, and repair. Somebody such as an architect or an engineer. The first part is the actual study. That's the physical site visit that takes place. So that qualified person will visit the common property of the corporation and make a list of all of the assets of the corporation. The second part of that is the report. That's the written document that is sent from that qualified person to the corporation, which lists all of those depreciating assets and what the expected cost and time frame for each repair and replacement would be. Now, with the changes that we expect to take place in January of 2020, that report is required to look 30 years into the future. That means it will have to include all of the assets of the corporation in which maintenance or replacement will be scheduled in the next 30 years. However, it should also include property that exceeds that 30-year time frame. Once a reserve fund report is completed, the author of that report is going to make recommendations about how much money should be contributed to the reserve fund on a monthly basis. This becomes the reserve fund plan. It's up to the board of directors to decide what percentage of the monthly condominium fees should be allocated to the reserve fund. Having a strong reserve fund can protect the assets of each individual owner, because having a strong reserve fund lessens the likelihood of a special assessment or some other type of cash call. In Alberta, every condominium corporation, regardless of size, is required to have a reserve fund and to have a reserve fund study done every 5 years. Now, having a weak reserve fund can be a significant issue. It can result in a cash call, either in the form of increased monthly condo fees or one lump sum payment in an attempt to build the reserve fund back up. In addition to that, it can really negatively impact the value of a property upon sale. If you own a condominium or you're thinking about purchasing one, researching the health of the reserve fund will be vital to your enjoyment with that condominium. A diligent corporation should be planning for future expenses. If you currently own a condominium or are considering buying one, the health of the reserve fund is a major consideration. Working with a real estate professional who's knowledgeable about condominiums, such as myself, will go a long way to protecting your investment. Thank you for watching today's video. You'll find this and all of our other content online at communitycalgary.com, including our ongoing condominium blog.